Hi, and welcome to a Sunny Book Nook. My name is Sunny, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite bookish creators on the internet who I think are underrated or who I just really enjoy. And I didn't want to mention people who I obviously love but have pretty massive followings, like pretty more significant than mine, because we already know those people. We already know, Books and Lala and like Gabby Reads and, the like. So let's just get into my list. I'm going to be talking mostly about booktube YouTubers and also bookstagram. I don't really do bookstagram. It's just not my thing, I would say. I mean, I will occasionally do a bookish post now and then. For example, I recently made this graphic that was inspired by A Room of One's Own, which is a bookshop that is really cool, and they like made these little graphics and stuff, right? So this is what I made, and I was just kind of talking about, the unhinged, unwell woman trope and the different books that I've read of that category and how I enjoyed them and why. So yeah, this was actually inspired by kind of like, I already talked about the A Room of One's Own, but also by one of my favorite bookish Instagram accounts, which is at Very Nice Book. They make incredible graphics that are so beautiful and absolutely stunning and have great recommendations, great compilations of books to read, and just phenomenal all around. I'll put some of my favorites up here of like things they've done, but I just love this account's whole like vibe and aesthetic. I really like that they do these astrology like zodiac sign posts for each season, and I really enjoy those. So yeah, that is one of my favorite bookstagram accounts. But in terms of booktube, I have to talk about Noor's bookshelf. She makes really great reading vlogs that are very aesthetically pleasing and chill, and they just have really nice, chill, cool vibes. And she reads a range of books, literary fiction, sort of what I read. They read a similar type of range of books that I do, maybe a little bit less on like fantasy and science fiction, but they do read a lot of like literary fiction, some romances, some nonfiction, and they just have great videos. I love watching their wrap-ups, and for people who are into reading vlogs, I personally watch minimal reading vlogs, I would say. For those of you who are into reading vlogs though, and like casual ones that aren't necessarily themed or anything, although I think they do some themed ones, you should definitely check out her channel. All of these different YouTubers and bookstagrammers and whatever are going to be linked in the description, of course. But yeah, you should definitely subscribe to Noor's channel because I love her content. Next up, I want to talk about Reading with Mo. She makes great videos. I love how chill and down to earth she is and the range of books that she reads. It's also a lot of like literary fiction, I would say, and some sci-fi fantasy and just like a pretty wide range of things. I really enjoy her videos. I think that she just seems like a really genuine and kind person, and I just love the vibes of her videos. And she always talks about books that sound really interesting to me or that I haven't heard of or I have heard about, and her thoughts on them are usually very interesting in my opinion, and I generally really enjoy them. I love women readers who are like in their early to mid-20s who read a lot of lit fic and have very calm, chill vibes. I would say that's sort of a lot of what I would watch, and I think Mo definitely fits into this category, as well as the next person I want to talk about, Pages of Carolyn, or Caroline? I don't really know how to pronounce your name, sorry Carolyn if you're watching this, but she makes really great like lifestyle vlogs and reading vlogs as well, and she also does wrap-ups and tags and stuff. I really enjoy how she talks about books and getting her thoughts on them, and I think she reads a pretty wide range of like lit fic and some magical realism things as well. And so I love keeping up with her and her life, her New York City slay, and the stuff that she's up to in terms of what she's reading and just like lifestyle stuff in general. And again, she has this very like calm, chill vibe. Next, I want to talk about Reading with Miles. They have a great YouTube channel and they also post on Bookstagram, I believe. But they are also a lesbian like me and a non-binary lesbian at that. And they read a lot of horror and like thriller, I would say. And that's what they tend to like and enjoy read, but I do think they read outside of that as well. And I really enjoy their videos whenever they post. I think they talk about a lot of books that I haven't really heard of because that's not necessarily my genre, or if it's books that I have heard of, it's stuff that I am really interested in hearing their thoughts. They love a good whimsical sort of fantasy from what I can tell. Like they have a dark sort of magical witchy taste that I find really appealing, and I love their whole vibe, and they have really cool tattoos. So yeah, they seem like a really kind, chill person as well, just very laid back, I would say, in their videos. And yeah, I enjoy watching their content and interacting with them online, but you should definitely subscribe to them. Okay, I have to head out. Sorry, I always do this. I always stop filming halfway through a video because I have to go, but I do have to go, and I will do the second part of this video when I get back. Okay, I am back and I'm in my workout gear, so that's what I look like. That's why I'm dressed like this. Also, the cicadas are going at it, so if you hear that in the background, sorry. But let me continue with the bookish influencers I love and, talking about them and hyping them up because I like them, so I think you should like them too. Next, I want to talk about books past bedtime, Jess. She reads a lot of queer romances and some YA, and I enjoy watching her videos for that purpose. I like her energy, again, very like calm and soothing, and she also has a fun sense of humor, and she's also a Swiftie, which I appreciate, so you should definitely check her out. She's very sweet from what I can tell and seems like a very just nice person. The next booktuber I want to talk about is Rincey Reads. So Rincey is a Chicago-based, I think, booktuber, and she makes a lot of like literary fiction content, I would say, but she also reads nonfiction and graphic novels and occasionally like fantasy, some historical fiction. She reads pretty widely, I would say, and she reads pretty thoroughly. Like I really enjoy her reviews and all of her thoughts on books. She has a really like critical eye, I would say, and she has, again, a very like calming older sister type of energy, and she recently got engaged and her engagement photos are beautiful. And yeah, I really enjoy her content, and she is also a very kind person from what I can tell. I love hearing her thoughts on books, and she always reads stuff that I've read and would like to know her thoughts on, or that I would like to read. I really value her like taste, I would say. So yeah, you should subscribe to her if you haven't already. Next up, I want to talk about Caroline Whyte. She is a more new booktuber from what I can tell, and she also makes like video essays, and I am no longer a big video essay girl. I kind of was into video essays before everyone was, not to be like I was there, before everyone else was, but like once they became a bigger YouTube phenomenon, I just stopped watching it for some reason. So, but if you do like that type of content, she makes it, and I like her taste in books. She is also a lesbian, and she is very sweet and has a very like affable personality from what I can tell, and she just seems like a really kind and genuine person. I feel like I'm saying this about everyone, but truly, like, why would I watch someone who doesn't seem like, nice, like, anyways. So yeah, I like her book videos. She makes more like lifestyle content as well as the video essays, but I enjoy watching her wrap-ups and seeing what she's up to in terms of what she's reading and her thoughts on things. And so yeah, you should check her out if you haven't heard of her. Next, I want to talk about The Bar on the Bookcase. Jalen, love his YouTube channel. He talks about books in like a smart way, but is like self-aware about why he wants to talk about books in a smart way, from what I can tell. And he reads a lot of literary fiction, some more horror literary things, I would say. He also has an interest in like reading dark, depraved books with female or like LGBT main characters, which I enjoy personally, and I really like hearing his thoughts and, you know, like opinions on literary fiction, even if like I don't always 100% agree, you know. I love hearing about people's really thoroughly examined like opinions, and yeah, I think that his videos are really well produced as well, and he has a lot of like interesting thoughts and seems very smart. So yeah, he's also pretty funny, I would say. Next, I want to talk about My Name is Marines. She is a more inconsistent booktuber, from what I can tell, because she's pretty big on book talk now. And I deleted my TikTok a couple months ago or a month ago, and I haven't looked back, so. But Marines makes really slay videos about like hyped books, you know, in the YA, fantasy, or romance genre, that, or just the romance genre in general, and she's really good at like totally eviscerating them. She is very much a editor, and you can tell her editor's mind when she's looking at, you know, books and what she thinks of them. Thus, I find her opinions really valuable, and she has a pretty wide range of taste as well. She reads a lot of more contemporary, like commercial-ish fiction, I would say, and, you know, stuff that's like popular and hyped, to give her reviews and thoughts on them, which I really appreciate. And she will read and reread a lot of books. If she's continuing with the series, she will usually reread the books leading up to it, which is like, that's a commitment that I cannot fathom. I'm really bad at rereading books, and I don't know, she always has something smart and interesting to say, I would say, about all the books that she reads. Okay, now on to bookstagrams. So I really like at burning.library. They have a very beautiful Instagram feed, and all of their photos are so aesthetically pleasing. I'm like obsessed with them. And they read a pretty wide variety of books, a lot of literary fiction, a lot of queer fiction, some nonfiction, I think, and some horror, you know, a pretty wide range of stuff that like I am interested in and things that I've recommended, some fantasy, you know. So I would definitely recommend their, you know, bookstagram if you're into that sort of thing. I really enjoy seeing what they're reading and seeing their really beautiful photos. So yeah, I also want to recommend at molsbymoonlight. Her bookstagram is beautifully curated for a different reason. She makes these incredible graphics that I really love, and she reads so widely. She reads a lot of translated lit, a lot of literary fiction, a lot of weird women type of books, some strange, deranged. She reads a lot of like weird magical realism, surrealist stuff that I am also super into, and she also talks a lot about like disability. She has a disability or sicklit book club, sicklit book club, I think. Anyways, I love her stuff. I always find new recommendations from her posts, and yeah, she is really cool. She's also working on a fiction anthology of like weird fiction as well, with a bunch of authors that I am super into, so I would definitely check her out if I were you. And finally, I want to talk about Reading for Tomorrow, another bookstagram account that I enjoy. I love her book stacks, and she reads a lot of things that I read, a lot of literary fiction, some translated lit, a lot of LGBT stuff, a lot of nonfiction, and I love her posts, and she seems like a really sweet person. So yeah, those are all of my booktube and bookstagram sort of like shout outs, I would say, and the influencers and bookish people on the internet, bookish content creators, I would say, that I really enjoy and love. And all of their channels and all of their links will be in the cards and in the description, so definitely check them out. And if any of you who I shouted out in this video are watching, I'm a bit of a fan. So yeah, that is all I have for you today, and I really appreciate you watching this video. So please like, subscribe, comment, you know, all that bullshit. And you can support me on Patreon, and you can follow me on Goodreads and all my social media and whatever if you want to. So yeah, that's all linked in the description as usual as well. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye!